You're next. Yes, it's just as you think. They call you crazy, but later they will call you a genius. Because throughout history, those who have brought about the greatest changes have been misunderstood, ostracized, even ridiculed. But that didn't stop them from changing reality. Those who believe they can change the world are the ones who are crazy enough to attempt it. And you are that madness. The vision in your mind may seem like a fantasy in today's world, but it is very close to becoming tomorrow's reality. At first, they will not believe you. They will laugh at your ideas. They will treat you as if you are telling a fairy tale. But the Wright brothers didn't back down when they were told that flying machines were impossible. They kept spreading their wings even when people laughed at them. And now, the sky is our second home. If you are ready to rise up and show the world what happens when the chosen one is taken for granted, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment number 77 to assert your authority. And now, let's examine it in detail. I promise you, if you are the chosen one, you will feel compelled to take this to the end. Let's move on. Get ready for your own flight. Fasten your seatbelt to cross your own limits. Those who call you crazy will become silent tomorrow when they see your vision becoming a reality. And when that moment comes, they will have to accept that you are the chosen one. Because every revolution starts with madness. And you are at that very starting point. You are not labeled crazy because of your false beliefs. They labeled you crazy because you live in a world they have not yet seen. The real curse of seeing is this. While they were busy sticking to the rules created for yesterday, you were planning for the future. Before anyone could understand the patterns, you saw them emerging. They were afraid because you made judgments based on unproven information. In reality, most individuals want proof before they accept any possibility. They need to see, feel, and see the success of another person first. But visionaries don't wait for proof. Even without any concrete evidence, people trust their instincts. That's why your voice sounded strange. You were speaking in an untranslated language of the future. It is no coincidence that you are here. If you feel the pull and know deep down that you have been chosen, this is your time. Click the Super Thank button and donate $50 or more to access additional in-depth information, unique material, and a course in alignment with your divine destiny. This is not just a contribution. It is a declaration and a step towards becoming the person you are destined to be. Accept the call. Join us as we walk and truly embrace your destiny. Your adventure has only just begun. Being ahead of your time is lonely. It's like getting stuck in invisible obstacles while exploring a world where everyone is blindfolded. However, when you try to explain what will happen, they either laugh or, worse, ignore you completely. And this is painful. The trick is that after the dust settles, people will come back to you precisely because of what they made fun of you for. Because when your vision becomes reality, you are no longer crazy. You are a genius. This change is inevitable. The only difference between madness and genius is time. And when the future you envisioned comes true, everyone will say they saw it coming. Even if nobody believes you, you will know the truth because you were the first to experience it. Write 33 to take your advantages and see God's plan come to life in front of you. Second, they idolize the evidence rather than the vision. People don't think that such a vision exists. They believe in results. If you walk into a room and start talking about something that doesn't exist yet, people will think you are crazy. This is a result of society's dependence on evidence. If you can show them a brilliant success story, they will support you. But if you share a crazy idea that hasn't happened yet, they will reject you faster than spam email. It's not that they don't understand what you see. They are programmed to believe in what has already been proven to be effective, safe, reliable, and validated. People cling to that. They want blueprints instead of blank canvases. Experience what it is really like to be chosen. You are not alone on this journey. If you believe deep inside that you have been chosen, you are in the perfect spot. By choosing to join, you can further your relationship with us, access exclusive information, and get the help you need on your spiritual journey. It's not just about joining a group. It's about gaining access to special insights that can change your life and help you get closer to your divine purpose. Make your decision now and join us on this journey. Claim your right to be one of the chosen ones. Sign up today. It is impossible to ignore the power you have. Ironically, every major innovation starts as a crazy, untested concept. But society conveniently forgets that once such concepts become mainstream, people forget how the first cell phones were ridiculed as meaningless toys. Today, people cannot eat without looking at their own cell phones. Visionaries face a harsh reality as a result of their obsession with proof. First, they have to build something, achieve tremendous success, and then think that you were right all along. They will act as if they were in it all along. That is the game. But the reality is that they refuse to accept it. Vision is not created by evidence. Proof is produced by seeing. Every revolutionary concept has seemed absurd until it seemed absurd. So keep in mind that they are not rejecting you when they laugh at your ideas or dismiss your crazy talk. The discomfort of the unknown is rejection by them. They will come back to you when it is safe, but by then you will have already thought of your next crazy plan and history will repeat itself. The fear reflex is number 3. They are to blame, not you. When people label you as crazy, it is not really about you. It is about them. They find your views disturbing because they go against what they are used to. Like a life raft, people cling to what they know. When you say something that disturbs their cozy little world, their first reaction is to push back. It is easier to mock you than to admit that they are afraid of change. Not because they think your ideas are really ridiculous. They are afraid because deep down they wonder if you are right. If you are right, everything they believe they understand becomes moot. Their routines that were safe and predictable suddenly become less reliable. People hate this feeling. So instead of paying attention to you, they make fun of you. They use it as a protection mechanism to shield themselves from the fear of making mistakes. The problem is that their fear is not your problem. Their fear cannot control your choices. Visionaries are wired differently. Where others see uncertainty, you see hope. Where others see danger, you see opportunity. People will always be uncomfortable with this disparity because it confronts them with the limits they have set for themselves. Some will eventually change their minds. Once they see your crazy ideas come to fruition, they will act as if they have always believed in you. Add the number 11 to your message to energize the universe and align your intentions with the flow of divine abundance. However, no matter how much evidence you provide, some people will continue to distrust you and cling to their fears. And there is nothing wrong with that. Not everyone is destined to follow in your footsteps. It is not your responsibility to convince them. It is to keep moving forward despite their fears' efforts to hold you back. After all, it is not those who ask for permission who make a difference in the world. In any case, they are the ones who dare to go into the unknown. Fourth, the ultimate form of retaliation is manifestation. When you told them about your dreams out loud, they laughed at you. They rolled their eyes when you boldly asserted what was possible. Perhaps they even muttered behind your back that you were foolish or crazy. But the beauty of manifestation is that it is indifferent to points of view. It does not need validation. All you need to do is believe in it and go ahead. And the greatest retaliation happens when that belief becomes a reality. That's when the world needs to change the way it tells your success story, not the petty "I told you so." Suddenly, what they were making fun of becomes exactly the model they want to follow. Those who had doubts about you start looking for guidance. Those who rejected you begin to wonder about your secret. But in reality, there was no mystery. No matter how absurd it sounded at the time, it always depended on your determination to make your vision a reality and back it up with action. While they were waiting for reassurance and proof, you were there creating your future from scratch. Manifestation not only disproves your detractors, but also destroys their idea of what is possible. People are forced to face the unpleasant fact that they underestimated you and perhaps themselves. It is therefore the ultimate form of retaliation. Because it's about redefining what is possible in front of their very eyes and leaving them in awe, not just being right. What is the best part? By the time they realize what just happened, you have moved on to your next crazy idea and are ready to change the rules once again. The fifth is real-time cognitive dissonance. When your vision is realized, those who question you experience an interesting phenomenon. They experience a conflict of minds. It no longer makes sense for them to believe anything. They had convinced themselves that maintaining the status quo was the safest way, that big ideas were stupid, and that the world was predictable. But now, your so-called nonsense is clearly visible and real in front of them. That's when cognitive dissonance starts to emerge. When confronted with a reality that contradicts their views, skeptics can either admit they were wrong or fight valiantly to preserve their outdated narrative. Most prefer the latter. Logic will be twisted, your success will be belittled, you will even be told that it was pure luck. Why? Because if they accept that you are right, they have to face their own limitations. Narrow-mindedness, uncertainty, and fear that prevent them from realizing what you have done. It is a strange sight to see. On the outside, they may appear disinterested, even condescending. But on the inside, they are trying to understand what has just happened. They start to doubt everything. If this crazy idea worked, what else could I have been wrong about? For someone who has built their whole identity on being cautious, this is a terrifying concept. The truth is that they can't escape. There has never been predictability in the world. To access exclusive insights and discover your divine mission, click the Super Thank button and donate $50 or more. This is not just a gift, it is a declaration. Take the first step towards your future. Innovation has always seemed wild, until it became the new normal. Despite their best efforts, reality does not bend to their comfort zone. Your vision has shown this, and while they are dealing with their existential crisis, you have already moved on, living proof that the only thing that is permanent in this world is change, regardless of whether they are ready for it or not. Sixth, loneliness is a natural part of life. Being alone is not a punishment. It is an initiation that all visionaries must go through. When your views go beyond what is considered normal, people instinctively move away from you. They simply cannot connect, not because they despise you. For those who need the security of familiarity, the fact that you have left the well-trodden path is frightening. Loneliness hurts at first. You want others to see what you see, to understand why you are ready to sacrifice everything for a concept that lives only in your head. But they cannot do that, so they stand back, shake their heads, or give a gentle but skeptical support. And there you are, alone in the jungle, wondering if you have gone mad. The interesting thing is that miracles are created in the wild. It eliminates the need for applause, noise, and points of view. In this isolation, you gain self-confidence. You learn to find strength in your vision when there is no one to support it. That is where the real metamorphosis takes place. And when you finally emerge from that exile as the embodiment of what they used to laugh at, the world starts to take notice. But until then, their approval is irrelevant. A firmer foundation has already been established by you, independently developed self-belief. So if you find yourself in such a situation, realize that being alone is not a punishment. This is a turning point for you. It is where visionaries are created, uncertainty disappears, and you discover that you only need your own validation. And you will be happy when the world catches up with you because you were victorious in the jungle long before they realized you were gone. Seventh, insults are the blind man's money. When someone attacks you for your beliefs, it is not because you are wrong. You have touched a nerve, and that is why. The delicate ecology they have built around their comfortable, predictable lives is threatened by you. People are afraid of things that make them think about their limits. And instead of facing this uneasiness, they attack the individual who dares to believe differently. That individual is you. The cheapest currency for the blind is ridicule. They have nothing to gain by mocking your aspirations or calling you deluded. But the truth is that every insult is an unconscious admission that you are right about something they don't understand. And for them to understand that, they need to mature, broaden their perspective, and take risks they are afraid to take. They are too afraid to face their inner selves. They are uneasy because of your courage. You dare to act inappropriately and question the laws they have lived obediently by all their lives. They are uneasy because if you succeed, it will force them to face the unpleasant reality that their restrictions were never real. They have been imposed on them, And this is a difficult situation to accept. But the interesting thing is that insults are an indication that you are moving in the right direction. The louder you are, the closer you are to being offended. Nobody is interested in tearing down mediocrity. They target anything that can change the course of the game. So let them mock. Let them whisper. Their sarcasm is just a smokescreen to hide their anxiety. And these insults will disappear much faster than they appear once your crazy concept becomes a product that people can't live without. In their hearts, they will realize that you were never the problem. All you have shown is how narrow their world is. The eighth rule is that society's safety net is too early. The phrase too early is used by society as a safety net to protect itself from the discomfort of change. But in reality, it means, I'm not ready to understand it when people claim it is too early for this thinking. The paradox is that innovation is never precisely timed for the present moment. It is done with the future in mind. Guess what happens when your ideas become widely accepted and seem natural? They are already outdated. The world does not move forward waiting for approval. Long before society realizes it, pioneers are pushing boundaries, causing controversy, and disrupting the status quo. Consider this. Before social media revolutionized politics, commerce, and communications, it was seen as a passing fad. Once dismissed as unrealistic dreams, entire countries are now racing to adopt electric vehicles. Every revolutionary concept seemed out of place until the world adapted. The too soon argument is just society clinging to the past. People are afraid of the unexpected because it makes them reevaluate their routines, beliefs, and presuppositions. Since embracing innovation will force them to adapt faster than they are used to, they characterize it as premature. However, adaptation is inevitable. The only question is whether you will lead or be pulled by it. So grin when they tell you it is too early. They have not yet envisioned the environment in which you are now operating. Your timing is ideal for the future to happen. It is not premature. And when they say the world is ready, you will be far ahead of them, working on the next too soon concept that will completely change the game. Ninth, visionaries are not visionaries. They build the future. It is not the job of visionaries to predict the future. They are too busy with construction. While others are looking for clues and waiting for a celestial alignment, visionaries get their hands dirty and start building something that does not yet exist. They don't just wait for the future to materialize. They create the future with every choice, action, and step they take. A visionary differs from a dreamer in that the former creates things while the latter waits for them to happen. Wishes are not the only thing the universe grants. It reacts to the act of creation. Visionaries are aware of this. They realize that the future will not turn out the way you hope it will. You have to make an effort to make it a reality. The seed for every great innovation and groundbreaking concept was planted by someone who dared to ask, why not? Instead of making educated guesses about what it would be, they shaped it, tested it, and made it tangible. When they predicted a computer in every home or an electric car, it wasn't a guess. They believed that a new world was possible and that they would be the ones to create it. So don't try to predict what will happen next. As the great visionaries realized, the future is not waiting for your prediction. It is waiting for your plan. And while everyone else is trying to interpret the stars, you are creating a reality here on Earth that others will eventually see as inevitable. You are not waiting for events to happen. You are forcing them to unfold, one invention at a time. At number 10, the tone changes from laughter to bewilderment. At the beginning, they giggle. This is a normal reaction to something they cannot immediately grasp or accept. Your ideas are too radical, too daring, or too big for their limited perspective. As a result, people make fun of you, call you crazy, or dismiss you as having unreasonable expectations. This acts as a protection. Underestimating something new is the simplest approach to dealing with its unpleasantness. But then something changes. Sarcasm turns into interest. As your vision starts to come to life, they take another look at it. They realize that your actions are not just crazy fantasies. It is real. It is becoming real. It is also becoming more popular. Your madness suddenly becomes a topic of research. As people try to understand how you accomplished something they believe to be impossible, they start paying attention to nuances they had previously overlooked. An imitation is the final act of the drama. When you prove that your ideas are effective and that they are not only legitimate but also powerful, the same people who ridiculed you start imitating your strategies. They use your words, ideas, and techniques in their own work. The worst thing is that they always pretend to be on your side. The applause they refused to give you before, now they're all yours. But they will act as if they recognized your genius sooner rather than later. This cycle from ridicule to imitation, from laughter to admiration, is as old as time itself. Soon everyone will be trying to copy what you struggled to build before. While they're on your tail, you'll move on to your next big idea and prove to them once again that the future is always in your hands. 11th, heroes are not disruptors. They are threatening. When your concept becomes reality and challenges the status quo, don't expect a hero's welcome or a parade. Instead, you will experience terror. Because it requires change, innovation has a way of endangering people in positions of authority. And change also means that things won't work the way they did in the past. Even if the old is not perfect, people still cling to it because it is familiar. When you introduce something new, something that contradicts what they are used to, you become a danger. Subversives don't get any special recognition because they don't follow the rules. Regulations are being revised. Systems that profited from the previous order are uncomfortable with this. You will be seen as a threat to the authority of those in charge, whose hands cling tightly to the status quo. They will try to stifle your creativity, undermine your ideas, and see you as a passing fad. Why? Because their own importance is jeopardized by your success. They cannot afford to let something new grow without trying to crush it. Think of every revolutionary concept in history. Those who dared to propose something new were rarely hailed immediately. They were scrutinized, feared, and even ridiculed. The world didn't realize the significance of what had been introduced until the dust had settled and the invention had become indisputable. Even if they still disliked the change, those who opposed it had to accept it at that point. So don't expect a hero's welcome when you challenge convention. Expect opposition. Expect to be feared by those who benefit from the old way. However, in the end, you will be the one who changes the rules, forcing them to cling to an outdated system. The price of unconventionality is number 12. Breaking the mold is not cheap. There is a heavy price to pay for being unconventional: rejection, loneliness, and ridicule. When you deviate from the accepted path, you are not only questioning convention, you push people out of their comfort zone. You will be seen as a danger to those around you who are stuck in their own molds. Your thoughts, your vision, and your presence will disrupt their sense of control, and therefore they will turn you away. Before you even begin, they will make you feel alienated, and as if your unorthodox course is a sign of failure. But here's the thing. The real cost starts to rise as soon as you start creating excitement. People who used to mock your ideas now turn away, preferring conformity to progress. They will call you irrational, crazy, or too ambitious. Some may even turn away from you, as if your eyes will catch theirs and make them look foolish. For a while, it seems like you're the only one in the room who believes in what you're doing, and this leads to a feeling of isolation. But when things change and your unusual concept becomes reality, the story changes. The same people who abandoned you will act as if they were on your side all along. They will say that they always knew you would succeed, as if they never had any doubts about you. Their rejection turns into false admiration, because they weren't there for you in the hard times. This is the price of being extraordinary. It's not just about fighting against the rejection of others. It's about staying true to your goal when the stagnation around you becomes overwhelming. The reward is not their approval. It is realizing that you were right after all. You have shattered the mold, and now everyone is rushing to catch up with you. According to number 13, the truth hurts until it heals. Realizing your goal is much more than a personal victory. It is a hard mirror that reflects everything that others are afraid to admit. It takes more than proving the truth of your theories to succeed. It's about showing everyone that the limits they live within are set by themselves. Because it causes people to confront their own limitations, the reality of your manifestation is like a kick in the gut. All their preconceptions of what is possible are turned upside down the moment they see you doing what they previously considered impossible. But first, reality doesn't feel pleasant. For those who reject or question you, it hurts and often results in regret, shame, or uncertainty. It is a painful reminder of the opportunities they missed, the dangers they avoided, and the fear that prevented them from moving on. After seeing your success, they are forced to examine their own lives and ask themselves, "Why didn't I believe? What kept me from taking this risk?" That is the real discomfort, not your success in itself, but the uncomfortable reality it reveals. The untapped potential in everyone around you is reflected in your expression, and this reflection is difficult for many people to face. It reveals the uncertainties they have lived with for years and the chances they have lost because they chose safety over danger. The beauty of truth is that while it hurts, it also heals. It forces individuals to think about new options and frees them from complacency. Your achievements do more than validate your vision. It forces people to overcome their own fears and limiting beliefs, acting as a catalyst for change in others. When they finally realize how powerful it is to believe in something bigger than themselves, their suffering will diminish. And maybe, just maybe, they will have the courage to create their own reality. Ultimately, being a visionary is not about seeking approval from people or meeting their expectations. It's about having the courage to imagine a world that doesn't yet exist, and creating it despite any doubts or opposition you face. This will not be an easy journey. It will be full of rejection, loneliness, and laughter. But each obstacle is a necessary step in the process that strengthens your resolve and increases your attention level. When your dreams come true, it will be more than just a personal victory. Others will also have to face their own limitations and anxieties as a result of this discomfort. Even if people make fun of you or ignore you at first, it won't be long before they turn to you for guidance, because they will realize that what they previously thought was impossible is now the new normal. The benefits of being unconventional are incalculable, but the cost is high. Your life will not only change, you will transform the world around you and advance it in ways that others could never have imagined. Accept uncertainties, loneliness, and ridicule because they are proof that you are moving in the right direction. Keep creating, pushing, and realizing the future. Even if the world is not yet ready for you, it will be sooner than they think. If this has moved you, now is the time to act. Don't let criticism, uncertainty, or fear stop you. If you are ready to design, disrupt, and realize your own future, make sure you click the subscribe button. Join the movement of people who are ready to change the world for the better and not accept it as it is. If you enjoyed this inspiring adventure and would like to see more videos that challenge convention and explore the exceptional, please don't forget to support the channel by hitting the super thank button below. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, share with your friends, and leave a comment below. Please share your thoughts with us. The story doesn't end here. Stay tuned for more. Let's keep pushing the boundaries together.